What's up, everyone? Flashbangs back here with Orange Gatorade.
What up?
We
What up?
promised you guys we'd be back post lottery. We've had a couple things coming up, but we finally get the time here to get together, do a little mock draft post lottery and post combine because there's definitely some movement after the combine, especially in my eyes. I'd say you too.
Yeah, I 100% have completely changed up my lottery selection. At least,
Yeah, I've definitely had some guys move up the board, and I think there will be guys that will continue to move up the board as you get closer to the draft as well. Let's get into it. You want to go? You want to go? You want to take pick one, or I guess I got pick one. You
yeah, you
get
got to
two,
pick one.
three. Okay. I think it's almost certain that AJ is going to go here, but the more I've like kind of watched film, at least on these two, I do think that Peterson is like the better scorer slash player, honestly. Like that's just my opinion just from watching the film. Like the way he moves with the ball and like with the certain athleticism that he has, like it kind of sneaks up on you. He's more athletic than you'd think. I know he had that kind of hammy injury the whole season that kind of limited him a little bit, and people are scared, a little bit scared of that, and I understand why. And also, effort questions with him too. But I think it's kind of a no-brainer at this point, at least, that the Wizards will get Bonsa to join up with that team, which could be a promising team next year in the NBA, especially with how weak the East is. Could be interesting if AD stays healthy. It's a big
Yeah,
if.
I totally agree. I do think this is a case of like, teams always want to go for the wing. If there's two great prospects, you're always going to go for the wing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just kind of
no,
how it's been since LeBron
yeah,
came into the league. But I do agree with you. I do think Darren Peterson very easily could be the better player out of the two.
hmm
So all this talk about the Jazz potentially trading up, Ace Bailey and a future first round pick just to move up one spot and take AJ DeBonsa, who, to be honest, doesn't really even fit what they're trying to do. I think it's kind of nonsense.
yeah.
I
I
think
have
they should
seen
just,
that.
yeah, I think they should just sit put at number two and get an absolute steal in Darren Peterson, who again could very easily be the best pick in this draft. He is such a like crazy upside. I don't think we've seen an upside in a player like this at number two, who could also have the downside of like a Markel Fultz. Like
Yeah.
the
hmm
floor is in the basement basically with him. So I think the Jazz are going to be fine taking him at number two, and I think they should be. I don't think you should rush it. Uh, get get your franchise guard in immediately because I think that's exactly what Darren Peterson is going to be. Um, Future All Star, obviously, All NBA. I don't think any of that stuff is even in question when you watch this kid. I do see rumors about him wanting to play point guard, which I think is fucking nonsense. But other than
Yeah, I
that,
don't know. I don't think he spreads the ball well enough to play the point. Really,
hell no.
he's a perfect two. I
He
don't
could be
see
like an
him.
SGA type of point guard, who doesn't really
Yeah.
facilitate, but just you just want the ball in his hands every possession, no matter what.
hmm
I think
Yes.
you're on the clock next.
We got 2, 3, and then I get 4, 5. You get 6, 7.
Oof. I see. A thing about this is I'm gonna pick what I think they're gonna do, not who I think is better.
Mm.
So with that being said, I think the Grizzlies are going to take Cameron Boozer, but I love the upside of Caleb Wilson, if I'm being so honest. But history shows the Duke guy always goes first. So Cameron Boozer will be going to the Memphis Grizzlies without any doubt in my mind. And I see way too many people shitting on Cameron Boozer as a prospect.
Yeah, honestly, they were all shitting on him. I saw like certain like agility drills and shit, and everyone's like, "Yo, he looks like he's fucking walking in cement and shit." And then you look at other, and then you like look at the time, then you compare him to other people at the time. Like, I think he was faster than Caleb Wilson in that drill, and it's like, why is he the only one catching all the shit? I
Yeah,
don't.
dude, he had a fantastic combine, and that's why I don't really understand where any of this hate comes from. He had Al Horford's measurements with a 35-inch vertical.
Yeah,
That's crazy, bro. Why are we acting like that's normal? And people are like, "Oh, he's unathletic." I don't know. he is a
Yeah,
surefire pick at number 3, I think. But honestly, the Caleb Cam Boozer debates might stretch out longer than the Darren Peterson AJ debates. I think that's going to follow them
yeah.
throughout
I
their
think
career.
I think both of them are going to be really good. I think Caleb Wilson's just like slightly more of like a project
Yeah,
than Boozer is, but I do think like the upside of Wilson is definitely a lot better. If he can develop kind of like a lethal 3 point shot, like he's gonna be amazing. Like he already has plays phenomenal defense. He's great in the attacking the rim. He's great in kind of that post range area with that post fade. He was killing Cam Boozer with it when they played head to head. But I think with the Bulls here when they jumped up in the lottery, being able to get a dude like Caleb Wilson at 4 is just like it you couldn't ask for anything better. Um,
unbelievable.
I assume then they'll I don't know if they want to do what they're gonna do, like if they want to play Buzelis at the 3 or Wilson at the 3, um, there. But I think Chicago can start to cook with something here. Little bit of the Giddler. Uh, you get you get Buzelis and Caleb Wilson together. I think that's like it's a weirdly freakishly like long two guys right there.
They're going to be fun
A
to
little bit,
watch, if
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, no, definitely. I am
Definitely.
really excited about Caleb Wilson. I think he can be really good. Um, like just looking at these top 4 here, I think all these players can make pretty big impacts like almost immediately.
I
Um,
agree.
and
I
then the
think anyone out of
Clippers,
those 4 can be the best one.
yeah, no,
That's just
honestly,
terrible.
I wouldn't be surprised if Caleb Wilson ends up being the best player in the class just because like how good he is and just how athletic he is. He's probably like the way he moves just looks a lot cleaner than Cam Boozer. That's probably why people just rag on Cam Boozer more. It just looks a lot more fluid, but it's going to be interesting to see all these players' kind of careers pan out. That's why I'm just like chomping at the bit with this draft.
I know, dude.
But looking at the Clippers at 5, I don't really know what they want to do. Like I don't know if they're gonna move on from Kawhi, if they want to keep him, if they're trying to win next year. I'm not entirely sure what the plan is over in Los Angeles. I don't know if you got any insight onto their plan. Uh,
From what I'm seeing, I think Wagler is like the consensus pick for them right here.
they okay. They're thinking Wagler because I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah, they don't have like too many like kind of like that position for Wagler.
Yeah, they
I
got
don't know.
Garland in the backcourt. You don't really want to.
Yeah, I do.
You
Yeah,
want someone that
yeah,
kind of
it's gonna be
complements
hard
his
to.
play style, I guess, is the way that they're seeing it.
Yeah, I can't see them picking a cuff. Maybe if they really like Flemings, I could see it. I'm also just like very high on Flemings. I think he's a sick guard to watch. Like watching the Houston tape of like Houston is known for having like veteran guards at the point guard, and they threw a freshman there at the point guard position this year, and the way he developed from day one to like when they started Big 12 play, like you could see the jump that he had and how well he played, especially when he had to play better competition. Like he would pick that level of play up, and so that's why I'm just super high on the guy. I think he's really really good. But I like Wagler here. You pair him up with Garland. You have your kind of backcourt of the future there between those two, and then you kind of see what you want to do with Kawhi.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot. I don't think there's any real consensus for what they're gonna do
Yeah,
there.
yeah. No, I think it's just the NBA wanted to punish the Pacers for tanking, so that's how the Clippers ended up with 5 here. That's
Dead
that's
ass,
my that's
bro.
my running theory.
Dead ass. What were the Pacers thinking, bro?
Yeah, I
Honestly, did you
know.
really need
They took a
Zubac
they
that
took a
bad? And did you
gamble.
need to
They
get off
took
the
a
Mathurin
gamble.
contract that badly that you were willing to toss your first rounder with them?
Yeah,
I don't
I see.
know.
I completely forgot they have Matherin too. Like the Clippers, yeah, they could be competitive next year. The West is too deep for them to do anything though.
Yeah, nah. They could be like a play-in team for sure.
Mm.
Um,
Oh yeah, you're selected for my Brooklyn Nets here, so
yeah,
a lot of
I
pressure. A
know.
lot of pressure here at 6.
I
That was
know,
so
bro.
awesome on the lottery day when I saw them pull them out at 6. I was so excited, man.
Oh my God, my phone almost cracked, bro. How far I dropped it.
Oh, it was brutal to
Oh,
see.
brutal, fucking brutal. But what do you expect? Um, for here, I have been leaning towards Acuff for the past couple of weeks, but I'm not gonna lie. Over the past like day or so, I've seen the light, bro. I've seen the light. The
What's
Nets
the light
are
telling me?
taking my number two guard on my board in the form of Michael Brown Jr. I just I love him so much as a prospect since we've last talked, bro.
Yeah, dude, he just didn't get like the injuries. He just didn't get enough, playing time at Louisville. And when he did, it was like kind of half injured, really,
I agree, but even
honestly.
still,
So
he looks NBA ready, offensively at least. The shot creation is there. Inside outside scoring is there, although the three ball was pretty streaky. But I'm confident that he'll get
yeah,
settled
also
in.
like his measurements, like he's not too small. Like he has the measurements to be at
He's
least
six
a,
four,
a, a
bro.
decent like defender. He's not going to be a complete liability.
Scared about taking Acuff this early, so I think the Kings are finally going to get their guy in the form of Darius Acuff, which
Yeah,
has been mocked literally for the past like 3 months.
yeah, dude. I mean,
Um,
that's like the Kings just need like instant offense, someone to put a jolt
right.
into the franchise.
They need
Honestly,
some damn swagger, is what they need, bro. And
yeah.
Acuff has that in bunches. So I think that's just a layup of a pick right there. And shit, man, this is an interesting pick for you. I gotta be
Honestly,
real.
I kind of like I almost have my eyes set on a guy that I definitely the last time we did this, I didn't have him nearly as high
I'm
as I
thinking
do
of the same
now.
guy you're thinking of right now.
Um, he's just like he kind of impressed me at the combine. I watched a little bit more like film and like honestly, the way he passes for his size is insanely good to watch. Like he makes passes into space, like leading cutters and stuff like that, and he's able to find the right guy, the open guy, especially with his size, especially getting double teamed. It's like as you saw last night, like Victor knows how to make the right pass when he needs to. And I think I'm not comparing him to Victor at all
I was
here,
just
but I was very surprised also at the combine. He actually like decently shot the three, which if he can add that like another aspect to his game, that just it makes him even better. But I like Mara here. If you watch the Knicks series, they really had no answer inside, especially defensively, and I think Mara can kind of bring that, especially on the defensive end, to kind of anchor that defense. They looked pretty soft at the rim. Like the Knicks kind of just got whatever they wanted in the playoffs in that series at the rim, especially. And Cat killed them. I don't know if that's who you were thinking as
I
well.
had the exact same guy mocked. I think the Hawks really could use some size, especially. Onyeka Okongwu is good. Don't get me wrong, but how tall is he? What, like six? I gotta look this up because I don't
Okongwu's
actually know.
probably like I think he's like 6'10",
He ain't no
maybe
seven
maybe
footer. That's all I
maybe
know. And
yeah
you're gonna drop a guy who's 7'3" right into this team next year. That is
yeah.
massive. I think that's exactly what they need. You could get greedy and go like Kingston Flemings.
They could, yeah. They could go guard here. Especially guy like McCollum getting up in age. Dyson Daniels doesn't really give you anything offensively. He's a great
No,
defender.
yeah, yeah,
But it reminds me of fucking watching that Piston series with Asar.
yeah.
It gives you all awesome defender. Like you can't take any credit away from him. Awesome to watch on the defensive end, but then it's just like wanting to shoot yourself watching him on offense because they
Oh
don't
my
even have to
god, bro!
play
Like
defense on him.
45, literally.
Yeah. And you kind of feel that with Daniels too. But I like the Mar pick here, and they have a later pick in the draft, and I think the guards are a lot deeper in this class that they can go guard later on if they want to.
Yeah.
And then I think the center position is just a lot weaker, and you get the best pure center in the class here. So I think you can't go wrong there.
I
And
like that.
then and then at 9, it's going to be interesting who they want to pair up with Cooper Flag for the future. I can't believe Kingston Flemings has dropped this far.
I know, dude, but
Um,
like this crazy that this really could happen. Like
yeah, I know.
realistically.
So like I feel weird almost drafting a guard for them, but at the same time, at like
Ugh,
you
why
don't
not, dude?
you can't draft for fit. You draft best player available especially at this point at 9 where you're not entirely sure, what Kyrie's going to look like when he comes back
Yeah,
fully healthy. Like what is he going to be 34 I think this year.
too damn old. Too damn old to rely
So
on for like the future.
So
That's for
if
sure.
you, especially if you get a guy like Kingston Flemings who can learn from him too while he's in there,
Mm.
I think that that's huge. And you pair up a dude like Kingston Flemings and Cooper Flag for your future, and your future is looking pretty good. I know that how stacked the West is, but that's a start for at least trying to start to compete a little bit with some of the young players here. So I will go Flemings. You could go Burries or Phylon. I don't know. I'm not in love with Phylon. Uh, at least on the defensive end, he'll provide you kind of instant offense, but I see Phylon more as like a sixth man Lou Will type of player off the bench, compared to like at least his ceiling compared to like a guy like Kingston Fleming's ceiling.
I like that. Yeah, I'm pretty high on Phylon. I don't know if I want to take him for the Bucks. I've been seeing Ament mocked a lot here, who I know we don't like a lot.
Yeah, if
So,
you look at, you might have to
but
squint to see my screen, but a man might be a little bit down here. I forget where I
yeah,
put him
I
at.
can't
I have him.
lie.
I have him deep. I have him in like
So
the late 20s. Oh wait,
this
no, I
one
have him
is
at 18.
really, really going to be telling of like whatever they're trying to do this offseason. I think if they go Ament, the idea is probably Giannis is leaving, and we're going to take a project player that we can, be bad for 1 or 2 years on. That's just my anticipation of it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna play it on the safe side and say they do take a men here. I don't love it. Don't get me wrong. I really honestly think he should go back to college for another year, work on that jump shot, just work on being physical, work on literally playing fucking basketball good. But somehow he's still gonna find his way into the lottery. So who am I to say no?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't. You definitely don't follow the college side as much, but like if you were to go
Oh,
back to Tennessee, that Tennessee team already is like really stacked. They're shelling out a lot of money to build their
he was
squad right
mocked
now.
top five before the season. I
Yeah, no,
remember
he was,
that.
dude. No, well, even before then, he was supposed to like he was like his going into his senior year of high school. He was kind of at the top with AJ, uh,
Right.
Peterson and them like towards that top area, and then he just didn't play like the best in college. He
Clearly.
wasn't very physical in the paint. Kind of got bullied around by smaller guys.
Happens, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not loving the tape that I was watching. I'll say that much.
Mm.
Up next, we got the Warriors, who I was leaning towards. I was actually dead set on them taking Yaxel last time we talked.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, bro, the more I look at Yaxel's age on this page right here, bro. That 23.7, he is 24 fucking years old. That sticks out like a sore thumb, especially amongst a draft class like this, who is,
Yeah.
mostly freshmen. I think personally, I would want to go for a younger guy who can give me relatively like same production. I would
Mm.
lean towards Steinbach with this pick.
Okay.
How are we feeling about that? Is that crazy
No,
to
I
say?
don't think that's crazy at all. I think Steinbach's definitely like slept on. I have him like 13 on my board here. Ooh, I know we talked about like Phylon a little bit. I think that would be an
I
interesting if
love
they want to go
Phylon, bro.
guard, um, to kind of get maybe your future uh, point guard of the future when Curry decides to hang it up. Or I mean Steinbach is if they do kind of really need a big man.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
they want to
They're
like
another
actually
team that
compete,
really needs a big and
it's really where I think it depends on where they want to go. Like if they really want
yeah,
to compete, I think they go with Steinbach, and I think that gives them at least a year to be able to try to compete a little bit and see what they have, test
yeah.
the
I'm gonna play it.
waters.
I'm gonna play it on the safe side. Go Hannes Steinbach here.
Steinbach's probably the most elite rebounder in the class. He
Yeah,
he snags boards like it's nobody's business.
I was looking at his rebounding stats before. Like, what is he like 99th percentile in rebounding amongst
No, it's
on
insane.
draft baller or some shit?
Yeah, before I make this Thunder pick here at 12, I think the Thunder will have to trade one of the 12 or 17th picks.
There's rumors they're trying to trade into the top four, which I don't buy for a
That would be
second,
insane.
but I'm just saying.
Um, Before I go into that, so we just kind of mentioned it, the Yaxel age. Where do you think in your opinion, if Yaxel, if that instead of that 23.7 there, and it said, 20.7,
Oh,
how high do you think he would be if he was
he's
20.7
he's
on there?
shooting into like the top five, dude. I think. But
Yeah,
it's such a big factor. You think about, I mean, fuck, we don't even have to go back to this whole season. Watch the game last night. Look at all the guys on the court who are younger than Yaxel Lindeberg.
yeah, that is crazy. Like Victor's younger, Harper,
Eh,
Castle, all
It's
like those
insane,
three
dude.
players are all younger, who
So,
just
like, just
balled out.
imagine the type of numbers that they'd be putting up for Michigan. I know that's like a very simpleton way of like thinking about this shit,
Yeah, no, I
but
agree.
I don't know, man. There's not a lot of development you can get out of a 24-year-old.
No, not at all.
And that's kind of like the long game that OKC kind of has to play now because their roster is so stacked that you're gonna have to have guys, rookies who are not really even playing for most of the season. Um, that being said, though, if Hartenstein is leaving this offseason, I wouldn't mind a Yaxel or maybe even a acquaintance, which is kind of a crazy reach, but they have the luxury to do it. So I
mm,
don't think it's completely out of the question.
yeah, no, I got you. I was just so I was just pulling up the Thunder because I just wanted to see who is like under contract, and they pretty much have everyone under contract for next year. It's actually insane that
I think iHeart
they
might be
starting
expiring
next
this
year.
year.
Well, it might be a player option, I think, or no, it's a
Okay.
team option that they can pick up for 28.5 million. But starting next year, they're gonna have to pay Jay Williams and Chet 41.5 million each,
Yeah. So that's
which
part of
is
the
crazy
reason I
because
don't really buy
they'll
into
both be
that.
making more than SGA technically next year.
Jesus Christ, man.
But then the
That's kind of
following year,
why I don't
SGA
buy
goes
them.
from 40 to 61 million. So, granted,
Yeah, I don't think they can trade out of these picks, bro. They need some rookie contracts.
yeah, but these rookie like they'd have to trade back. I feel like to afford anything on like rookie contracts because like the top 15 are still like decently expensive.
Yeah.
Um, I mean they still have Thomas Sorber who's out like the whole year
Yeah.
at center. The Topic has
Topic.
barely played for them. They still have Case and Wallace on two team options. I'm looking here.
Christ.
Jared McCain will be a team option next year or this upcoming year. Lou Dort will be a team option. They might have him as a
Yeah,
trade
I've heard
piece.
rumors that they're going to turn that down
He's
and let Lou
hitting
walk this
18
summer.
million a year for Lou Dort is crazy.
Yeah, he's going to be a future
Um,
net.
I hope not. But I'm trying to think like what like here I guess you want probably one of the better big defenders here. So I mean I get a steal for them, a dude that can plug in and play almost immediately would be Axel. Like getting
Yeah,
Axel because they're already
honestly, I
a
think that's the pick
contenders.
here.
They're already contenders, so you don't really need the time to develop him. Um, so like I think he'll have the option to be able to kind of go in, get his footing, and then they'll be able to play him really behind Jade. I mean, J Dub really plays the 4-3 depending on the lineup, but
Yeah,
he can
bro, bad
play.
as hell now.
I mean, honestly, Yaxel can play the three if they need to and run kind of a bigger lineup. He shoots the ball well enough from the outside. It's not going to be a spacing problem.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. No, I think he will fit like a glove in OKC.
mm,
I think that's a great pick.
I'm thinking about the Heat here now.
I've had Phylon mocked to them since like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. But they
Yeah,
could
I
also go.
think
There's so
I'm
many
think
picks you can make.
I like Phylon here. They already got Ware. They got Bam still under. Andrew Wiggins he'll probably opt into that $30 million player
You got
option.
Jaime. So they're
Why
pretty set
wouldn't
on
you?
forwards. Like I think you
Um,
might as well dip your toes into this
yeah, they
guard
don't.
heavy
Yeah,
class
no,
right here and hope
yeah,
you come out with something good.
yeah. I think they can go Phylon here. He'll give you explosion, especially if he's coming off the bench. Like I kind of said it before. I see him as a six man, but he can turn into a Tyrese Maxey if he really develops that offensive
For
side of the
sure.
game.
Yeah,
He's
in the
just so
right hands,
explosive with the ball.
I forget where I read this, but some like if you could capture lightning in a bottle, that is like the ultimate goal for LeBaron Philon's career.
Hmm.
You know, he could really be a sky's the limit type of player, but it's just all about kind of where he lands. Oh, oh,
Yeah, right. I don't know if you should watch the. You got to just go back and just watch Alabama versus Arkansas. You'll see both Acuff and Philon in that game.
I did watch that game, but
That
I gotta
game,
rewatch that.
that game was one of the most absurd games I watched last year. That
That
was
was sensational
absolutely
college hoops
absurd.
right there.
Nobody was missing in that game. Acuff had
I
like
remember that.
46 and they lost.
Hornets are an interesting pick right here. They made crazy strides, especially on offense. They were one of the best offenses in the league last year. So that being said, I think you would want to complement that and balance that out with some defense. That being said, I don't know uh, who really sticks out to me as a defensive prospect. I've been hearing stuff about Braden Burries being pretty good on defense. Is there any truth to that, or have I been sold some fucking snake oil? I don't know.
He's a solid defender.
I just don't love the idea of them taking a guard also.
Yeah, I know. At this point, like it's also like a lot of the better, like taller forwards to centers have been picked, so they're
Yeah.
kind of in a bad spot. Like Steinbach would be perfect for them if they can fall. They
Yeah,
might. I
I
don't know if
know.
they try to trade up at that point to try to get him. Um, I could see. I mean, I could see them trying to trade up to 10, and the Bucks move back for
Oh
a little
yeah,
bit more
that's a good
assets
shout actually.
to just to try to jump the Warriors.
I definitely don't see them taking Quaintance this early.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm
Wait,
not super bought in on him. I
that's one
think
of those
Quaidance
guys
is a
where I've
sick
seen him.
defender. I think he can be a really good defender. It's just there's a lot of question marks and things to be asked for on the offensive side.
I've literally seen him mocked from like seventh to not even going in the first round, like that type of
Yeah,
player.
yeah,
Where,
no, yeah,
where people
he's
are
kind of all
so
over the
divided
place.
on him.
I
That
think
being said, I
Quaidance is
think
kind of
he'll
like a
go.
dart throw at the board.
Yeah, seriously. I think we'll go Merez Johnson here.
Yeah, I like that. I think he's a guy that's probably going up the boards a lot. And now think about that. So from the Michigan team, those three bigs have already been picked in the top 14 picks.
Unbelievable
That
team,
yeah,
dude.
that's what I'm
They're
saying.
so
Like
worthy of that.
that's it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Up here for the Bulls. I think this is kind of a layup, to be honest. They really need some more guards on that team. Rob Dillingham probably might be gone this summer, from what
Yeah,
I'm
so they
hearing.
got the Bulls got Caleb Wilson at 4, and then
Yeah, I think they go Burries here. I think that's one of the
I
easier
like it.
picks we've had this late
Yeah,
in the draft. Best available at a position you need. Shot what 40% from three last season. I think they'll be high.
yeah, no, he's a bucket getter. Um, like he was a lot of. I mean, towards the end of the season, he got the ball a lot. In crunch time, was hitting big time shots. But here,
I
so
like him from the
Grizzlies.
tape that I've seen. Because let me be clear. I live under a fucking rock when it comes to college basketball. I get all my takes from you, but
Yeah,
from what I
but
have
like
seen about,
it's so different. It's harder. Like it's so different going from the college game to the NBA. Um, just size, physicality, the floor spacing in general too. Um,
oh yeah,
Especially on defense because you're going to be left on an island most times when you're playing one-on-one defense.
I
So
don't
it's
even
just
factor in defense when it comes to these fucking mock drafts.
yeah,
Defense is not real. We had Acuff going like seventh, bro.
yeah.
I really don't think Acuff is the third best guard in this draft, but fuck it. Or no, we had him
No, we had him as
as the
the I guess no,
fourth
I
best,
mean point guard, pure point.
fourth draft, fourth guard. God, but yeah, he is an absolute cone on defense, and I really don't care about that at all because the offensive upside is ridiculous when it comes to him.
Yeah.
He could be the next James Harden.
Looking at the Grizzlies, they got Cam Boozer in here. I feel like, they have a ton of guards, especially if they're not moving on from Ja. Say they don't move on from Ja. You still have Ja, Ty Jerome, Walter Clayton, Cam Spencer, Scottie Pippen Jr. Like they're kind of very guard heavy, so I don't know if they
That's
want to
just a
go
bunch
guard.
of names, bro. All those guys suck.
But
Take a
like,
fucking guard, please.
dude, there's not a ton of guard.
Fucking
Like I don't think they reach for like Sturts or Anderson.
Nah,
Those
yeah,
would
me
be my
neither.
next
I
two
agree with you.
guards. Cedric Coward's been playing really well for them, but I don't know. In the draft, I usually will just go best player available, just because that's what you probably should do. Just go best player, and you make it work and figure out how you want to fit them into the lineup. And in my opinion, it's Swain out of Texas. He's a guy that probably moved up a little bit on my board. I have him like 14 on my board, so I have him going 16 here. He he's like it's like a little bit worse version of how Trey Johnson was coming out of Texas.
Ooh, don't tell
He's
me
really,
that, bro.
but like I meant more so like ISO ball scoring. He's
I
super
love it.
athletic. He compared to Trey Johnson though, he gets to the rim way better. Like he can attack the rim uh, at an elite level, at least on the college end. You'll see when he kind of plays bigger players, but I really like him as one of the. I think he's one of the better wings in the class. Um, just looking at wings behind like kind of those top tier wings, I think he's one of the better like mid tier guys. Um, I think he can make a pretty big impact, and if you go there, you get Boozer and Swain in this draft for the Grizzlies. I think that's a W for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. Swain is somebody that I've seen mocked like mid lottery pretty often, and I completely agree, bro. Haven't watched much of him, but just hearing the Trey Johnson comps excites me as a big fan of Trey.
Dude, fucking picking with the Thunder again. I hate this.
Yeah, this is just dumb. Just take whoever.
Honestly,
I could see them going cadence here.
I feel like that's almost redundant though. They just picked
Yeah, but like
Sorber last year, and
it literally doesn't matter who they pick. I just hope you know that this fucker is spending a whole season in the G League.
yeah,
Whoever it
exactly.
is.
So that's why I'm thinking like, why don't you just take a swing on Kareem Lopez?
Oh
Yeah,
God, it was so bad. I texted you immediately after I watched
uh,
it. It was
but
so bad.
like, why not just take a swing
But
at a
why
dude
not?
that is 6'8" with a 7 foot wingspan?
Why
That
not,
play the
dude?
wing.
I'm not gonna. If you
I think
leave
he's like
him,
a
I'm
worse
not drafting
version.
him.
I mean, like that's more so me being biased and like I don't want to see one of these players just rot in the G League that's gonna get picked here.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
totally. So yeah, let's do Kareem Lopez because I'm not fucking
I
drafting him
do.
first round.
All right, I'll go Kareem Lopez, but who I actually didn't edit this draft board entirely because he's still a little bit further down than I would like. But I do think they could go Cameron Carr, which would just be unfair.
Yes, yeah, that's who I
That
was
would be
thinking.
not
That's
fair.
actually what I'm gonna take right now. I think as a future maybe sixth man off the bench scorer for the Hornets. I know I
Mhm.
just talked about how insane their offense was, and they probably don't even really need this, and it's just greed. But that boy Cameron Carr lit
He's
up the
cold.
combine.
Yeah,
So I
dude, he
just
was.
don't see him falling any further than this. I've been hearing so much about how much Cameron Carr. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I might have to change my pick. Chris
No,
Sinak is
yeah, that's
right.
what I was gonna say. I was gonna say Sanak.
Chris Sinak's sitting right there. I think I gotta take him. And then what I'm gonna do is put Cameron Carr on the Raptors. I think that's just all around better.
Yeah, I don't
Chris
mind that.
Sinak, freaky deaky, rebounder. I just saw like a 6 minute clip of just him getting like offensive rebounds, and I was stunned. He is such a feel for rebounding, which is like such an old school fucking thing. You don't even see that nowadays.
Mhm.
So that's just a crazy good attribute to have, especially when your center is Musa Diabate, who, all due respect, is probably just going to be a career rotational guy. You want like a franchise big.
They got what's his name at center. They don't be dissing my boy Cockburner.
Get the fuck out. Yeah, my bad. My bad, Ryan Kalkbrenner.
I was so surprised that he like was getting so many minutes. I didn't
He's
think he was
solid.
gonna. Yeah, he's definitely better than what I thought he was gonna be. I thought he was just gonna be a
That being
slow
said,
moving
I'm
mother.
not pivoting off of
Yeah.
Chris Stanek. I think
No,
Chris
no, no,
Stanek will be
no. Yeah, I
better.
agree. I agree.
And then
Um,
I think Cameron Carr for the Raptors
yeah,
probably the move.
dude,
Not
Cameron Carr, like he was. I don't. Dude, I just why I don't get how that Baylor team is so bad this year because he was so nasty to watch. Like as an
he was,
avid
dude.
as an avid college basketball gambler, I used to bet on his points a lot, and that motherfucker would smack all the time. He was insane to watch. He had a decent amount of 30-point games that he had, and
Hmm.
I don't know. Baylor's usually a defensive team. They didn't really have it at all this year. It was
Yeah,
not
nah,
the
you,
best to
you would
watch.
know the answer better than me.
This is almost. Oh,
There's another throwaway pick, dude. How the fuck do these teams still have first rounders? This is ridiculous.
there's a dude I want to get into the top 20, but I just don't see him going to the Spurs, and I don't see him going to the Pistons either. A Corey from Stanford. I think he.
Oh my god, don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started.
I just don't. I don't think that the Pistons would
I
want.
think
I
the
don't.
Pistons, that's exactly who I was going to say for the Pistons. That's exactly who I want them to take.
I don't know, dude. I think in my opinion, like from watching the Pistons, you want a dude that's gonna not turn the ball over as much. I feel like,
Yeah,
and
that's true. That's
Sturts,
true, bro.
I feel like Bennett Sturts is a dude that will handle the ball. He will not turn over the ball for you. He will make the right decision and the right play. And you need a secondary ball handler after watching that abysmal, whatever that was by the Pistons on offense in some
Some
of
of
those
the
games.
some of the Cade turnovers are like the worst I've ever seen. He
Yeah,
threw
like
a
he
turnover to
forces
Jared Allen
he yeah, I
on the
saw that one.
floor.
That one was so bad.
That was one of the funniest
That
ones
was
I've ever
so bad. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I love. Don't get me wrong. I love Cade. He's awesome.
Same.
I love watching him play. But the turnovers he has sometimes are just you just shake your head and you're like, dude, what are you trying to do there?
I'm
There's no
completely
reason
with
for
you,
that.
bro.
But I think in my right here, I'm gonna pick Alan Graves for the Spurs. He this is just gonna be another defensive fucking menace. That's
I
what the
love
Spurs
it.
want, and he'll develop. He won't necessarily be, you know, getting minutes right away. I think just because of how good the team is. Um, I think he can probably earn his. He's gonna have to earn his way to get
I don't know,
any sort of
man.
minutes.
Carter Bryant got some decent minutes this year, so I think Allen Graves can.
He's like a similar prospect to Carter Bryant. More of like I guess more of a guard than a forward, but just
Yeah.
like the way they play is kind of similar, um, in that aspect.
You
And then
going
I feel like
Sturts
the
here?
Pistons here, that's the reason I get Sturts because they want pieces that are in contention. I think unless they go out and get a point guard in free agency, then they're gonna have to address it in the draft because you need someone to back up Cade that can handle the ball. And I think if you don't address it in free agency, you get an older, more experienced guy that's gonna limit the amount of turnovers you have. And he's gonna make the right play and the right decision for you, and that's what Sturts is. So that's why I like him here.
A Corey would be like a very fun pick, but I'm so skeptical about a 6'1" guard. Even if he does have a freakish wingspan for his height, 6'8" wingspan as a 6'1" guard. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm
honestly,
very
I could see him going like just because the people like the measurements. That's what everything is with these drafts.
yeah.
The NFL and the NBA. He could go up.
Honestly,
He could fly up boards by the time we get to June.
yeah. No, seriously. And that's one of those guys who I watch the tape of and I'm like Ayo Dosunmu, when I watched him at Illinois, I'm like, this is a surefire NBA player. Surely. I don't give a fuck what you give him a second round grade, he's gonna be in the league.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
NBA ready movement, like you just see it. I don't know. He has it.
yeah. That was the same thing.
Um,
The other guard on the Timberwolves, Terrence Shannon. That's how I felt about him too.
Yeah. This is an interesting pick right here. The 76ers, they have a lot of question marks this offseason. One being Joel Embiid, the other being Paul George. Two big contracts that they can either, eat or get the fuck out of the Philly for, a terrible return. So that makes this pick very, very difficult, at least for me. They could go a million ways with this. Obviously, I think they're dead set on guard. So that gives you a little bit of freedom. That
Mhm.
being said, I think they take Canes here.
This is the time he goes.
This is the time. This is the time. Very, very sketchy pick. He's had, didn't he tear his ACL or
Yeah,
something
that's
when
what
he
I was
was
gonna say.
17?
Does the injury make you nervous
Yes, absolutely.
with having to deal with all the Embiid injuries?
You watch his tape when he was 17, bro. This kid was unreal. He was so fucking good. But now he didn't play much this season at all, did he?
No, he didn't play at all. I think he played two
Very
games and then tore his
very
ACL.
nice. Very nice. All right, so yeah, this is business as usual for Sixers fans. They shouldn't be too worried. Up here, I did want the Hawks to take a guard before.
Yeah, so they got Mara. So now, but look at the guard here. You can get
That's what I'm saying.
this
It
is
all,
this
it all
is this
works
is a
out.
steal.
It
That's why I
all
said
works
you get
out.
Mara and you see what guards are
You
there at
get the
23.
defense.
Exactly.
You get Nikhil Alexander Walker back there. You got CJ probably leaving this summer, but you got other guys back there who can help out. Dyson Daniels, Resachet exists in some capacity, and they'll be fine. 6'1" guard in the first round, you'll be fine. Who cares? He is so fucking good that I think it's worth it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Oh, yes, I get to pick for the Knicks. Just what McVitie would love here. Me picking for the Knicks. I think, in my opinion, it's almost like if he's on the board, I think the Knicks are just going to grab him. And I think it's pretty. Isaiah Evans is probably the best shooter in the class, and you just get a dude to come off the bench and just light it up from three. He's just gonna.
I wanted him
He's
on the
gonna hit.
Lakers, man.
Yeah, I know.
I
I
don't
would
even
have had
know
him go to the Lakers.
I don't even know who they take here.
And he would be a perfect pick for the Lakers as well. So I mean,
I've seen
I
him
think
mocked there 1,000 times, and I've just gotten my hopes up and convinced myself that he's a Laker already.
yeah, I
Would make
just
this even more
that
heartbreaking.
would be perfect. Yeah, if the Knicks steal him right before you, I think. Then for the Lakers, you get probably maybe the second or third, just like pure kind of shooter. If that's the way you're thinking of going, I don't know if they want to go. So here's my thing. If they go point guard, you get Christian Anderson here. If you want to go
Yeah.
wing, you get Amari Allen.
Yep.
If you
Yeah,
want to go
dude,
pure,
those are my two fucking options left. Dude,
well,
look
yeah.
at
If you want to go like a shooter like Isaiah Evans, though, you go Malik Thomas.
28th on my board. Dude, we are locked in right
So
now.
those are the three I'm thinking of. So I'll let you pick between those three because I don't know which way you think they're gonna go here.
I would say they're probably going to go wing. Rui is going to get paid this summer, and LeBron's probably going to leave. So I don't see
So
either of them coming back.
if they go wing, I'm picking them Amari Allen here. Then
Do it. Do it.
I think I think he has a lot to improve, but you can see, especially like with his jumper. But other than that, like he rebounds the ball pretty well for his size at the wing. He attacks the glass on both sides on offense and defense. He provides at least a solid defender for you guys as well. So I think if you want to go, higher upside wing, Amari Allen's the choice.
I'm so glad that we kept our first rounder for this draft class. There is such a
I wish
killing
the Nets
to be
could have
made.
just traded one of those fucking 5 picks last year for a first rounder for this draft.
Yeah, no. Well, the Nets are fucking stupid, and they're run by idiots. I think we should go the two guys you named, either Christian Anderson and Malik Thomas right here. I think is perfect. Who's a better defender out of the two?
I don't think either of them know what defense is.
Yeah, no. I'm just gonna go with what Draft Baller says. Christian Anderson is the far better defender than Malik Thomas, so he's gonna go to the Nuggets.
All right, there you go.
That's how we're gonna settle it at this
Let's
point.
see. Draft Baller tells me their defensive rating, so.
Yeah, no, I'm at that point. Once we got to Isaiah Evans, I clocked out.
I agree. Yeah, once you kind of get there, I do love, me personally. I was a huge fan of Christian Anderson this season, but like I don't think his game like entirely translates to the NBA. He's like how I loved Walter Clayton last year.
Mm-hmm. This is a pick that I also am pretty dead set on at this point. Henry Visar.
Yeah.
To the Celtics.
I like that.
They
it's a
really
big who can stretch the floor for them.
Yeah, Vucevic was unplayable in the playoffs. Keita, I don't even know what they're gonna do with him this offseason. So
yeah, I think he's good. Vesar is not. He's a solid defender, but he's not, a huge rim protector. So I do think they still need to address some sort of rim protection with that. But I think Vesar definitely works with, being able to space the floor for Brown and Tatum and White. So I think that's helpful, even though Derek White was kind of useless in the Sixers series. But
yeah, he was bad, man. He was real fucking bad.
I'm up for the Timberwolves. I mean, when I don't know, I kind of just go best player available. I'll pick.
I think that's what we're gonna have to do for the rest of these last 3 picks.
Honestly, that's usually how I take it. Like most teams should take the draft in general, is best player available. Just make it work, unless it's like, so dead even that you're not entirely sure.
Yeah.
So I 100%. Think Malik Thomas provides some shooting for them, especially in that side. The Cavs at 29.
They can really go whatever because they have old-ass James Harden. I guess you don't want to go big because you got fucking Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and the rest of these bigs all suck.
Yeah.
So that limits your options pretty well.
So I'm kind of torn here. There's like four pure guys that I think are left that could possibly go in the first round. But for the Cavs, I only got one
left on my board with a first round grade.
But for the Cavs, I think they can go the other Baylor guy that I think is good, is really good. Their wing, Yesufu.
Yep.
I'm gonna take him for the Cavs, and you're left with the Mavericks at 30. Who do we pick? We got Fleming's with them at 9.
Yeah. Damn. How do we feel about Richie Saunders? Is that crazy?
He's solid. I don't think that's crazy.
I don't like any of these other guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Malachi Marino. That's who I was actually reading.
Oh, Malachi Marino.
Sucks.
No, he's not terrible. I'm personally not a huge fan of him.
Okay. Sucks. We'll move on. They take Zuby Ejiofor to conclude the draft. How about that?
There you go. Right.
Solid pick. He's old, but I think he will be one of the most NBA-ready prospects.
Just will mention that it is pretty interesting. A dude, I forget how high we had him in the last draft, but it's definitely.
I was picking bullshit in the last draft. I'm going to be honest.
Definitely fallen down boards a little bit. Is Koa Pete.
Yeah, dude. Because I had heard rumors that Koa Pete is going to go back to Arizona, so that's why I kind of omitted him from this.
Yeah, I think he's probably seeing how his draft stock has looked and how good this draft class is.
He could not have done any fucking worse on these jump shooting drills at the combine.
Yeah,
I was gonna send you his percentages from these drills, but it was he was dead last in like every shooting drill.
Just to put you on, the only other two players I think that are like would probably be like the next two picks, and I have them as second round players, but would probably be like the top of the second round would be Tyler Tanner from Vandy. If he doesn't go back, he might go back though. I just love the way he plays, and then I think a dude that could be really good is the dude from Iowa State. I can't pronounce his fucking name. Momcilovic, I'm pretty sure. He's like he's a good like 4 that can stretch the floor really well for you.
Nice.
Those Europeans. I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of. I forget the one guy's name now.
Maxi Kleber.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I see a little Maxi Kleber in there.
That's like the first stretch big that came to mind that was European. So,
Let's see who had 2 picks in this draft. Would you be happy, or who do you think had the best draft here?
oh, dude, it's hard not to say the Grizzlies, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's such a steal.
I agree.
Obviously, like, it might take a little while to see the results of that because they're not two guys who I think are going to come in and immediately like light up the league. But that does give you a solid foundation for a long time.
Yeah, and
Those
if
two
they move
picks
on
right
from Ja, these players will get a lot more, playing time, even though it's not the same positions, but it's just
there.
one less body on the roster, and you'll probably get a good amount of assets for the future. I think a great draft, like the Hawks would be so happy with this draft. I think.
Oh yeah, no. They actually I'm switching
I
sides. Yeah,
think it
that's
keeps them in contention at least
a
um,
steal of a
in
draft,
the
bro.
East. I think it keeps them in contention to be,
For
at
sure.
least competing for a top 6 seed. I'm not saying they'll 100% get it, but I think it keeps them competing. I think the East will definitely be a lot better next year than what it was this year.
Yeah,
This year was pretty sorry, honestly.
definitely.
Um,
I'm happy that it was
Pistons
all
were pretty
shitty
fake.
teams that got blessed in the lottery, by the way. Like I'm very happy about that because
Yeah, I can't
it can
believe
get a
I
little
can't
bit.
I can't believe the Grizzlies jumped so much. Like like
Fuck them, dude. Why can it not be the Nets?
I
Why are
know.
they picking sixth?
I also don't mind the Bulls jumping because they're just like playing
Yes. Oh,
team
facts. When the
galore.
Bulls
So
jumped up, I got hype. I got
so
very
I don't
hyped, and I
mind
wanted them to get the
Chicago
number one.
jumping up. I'm happy for them. You get a dude like Caleb Wilson. Hopefully he brings energy everywhere he goes. So I think he can really re-energize that team.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, it's gonna be very exciting. I think my league pass team next season. This season it was the Wizards. Next year I think it's gonna be the Bulls, who I end up watching the most out of
yes.
all the shit teams, at least.
Also, I will say if the Thunder go out of this draft and get Yaxel at 12 and Cameron Carr at 17, that's fucking unfair. I will also say mention that. That would be unfair.
I can't even fucking ponder it.
But I think that was a pretty successful draft. I think that was much better than the last one. We did a little bit more homework. I think we do a little part 3.
Yeah,
You
when
know,
the records are finalized,
I guess for some reason this year the draft is held on a Tuesday and a
nice one,
Wednesday.
Silver.
It's
Nice one,
held
Adam
Tuesday,
Silver.
June 23rd and Wednesday, June 24th.
Oh, what a fucking guy you are, Adam Silver. What
So
a commissioner, bro. All right,
it's going to be interesting.
so we got one more month to record a part 3 and finalize our mock draft. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
we can get a part 3 sometime. Well, sometime I
Whenever.
go. Yeah, when I get back from Ireland, we'll get a part 3 going.
Yes, sir.
We'll get it going. All right. Thank you,
All right,
thank you
brother.
always, Orange Gatorade, for joining us here. It's always a blast to talk some ball with you, especially a guy who knows ball like you.
Oh, likewise, brother. The pleasure is all mine.
Of course. Peace out, y'all.